Hi and welcome to School Shorts with me, Melissa Chan Green, journalist and mum of two with a passion for education. And this is a bonus episode on how to manage sleep when it comes to changes to daylight savings or any other changes to sleep schedules. We are speaking with Victoria Newport from Early Parenting. She's someone who has helped our family with sleep quite a lot over the years, actually. And when I say help, she's actually saved our sanity. So I wanted to share her expertise and her information with all of you. Victoria, thank you very much for being with us.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
As I said, you have helped us, saved our sanity. We've realised how important sleep is after you have helped us and our family over the years. So thank you very much for that.
You're more than welcome.
Can we just start at what it is you do for families, and particularly kind of what are the methods and the ways in which you like to work, the approach you like to take?
Yeah, sure. So I work with families both here in New Zealand and internationally as well. So mainly children from newborn age to about 3 years old. So a lot of parents will come to me and they've got, their kids are waking a lot during the night, resisting bedtime, short naps during the day, struggling to self-settle, so spending a lot of time getting their babies or toddlers to sleep, all those fun things. So I'm sure you've experienced a lot of that, yes?
Yes, yeah. Emotional times, but people probably do come to you at a time when they kind of really need some help.
Yes, yeah, definitely. A lot of overwhelm and emotion.
Yeah. What are some of the biggest concerns then, or issues, I guess, that parents come to you with, particularly about daylight savings and sleep?
Yeah, so I think for most parents, they worry that that hour difference is going to completely throw their children's sleep, particularly if they've just got them sleeping well. It's, that next hurdle. So I think that's the biggest fear, that they're going to start waking earlier in the morning, maybe resisting their naps, refusing bedtime. Yeah, so they're probably the main concerns. And how do I manage that? How is it going to impact their sleep? That's probably the main concern.
Yeah, because you're in a situation where often families are really on a schedule that they get used to,
Yes.
and they've kind of organised their diary around times that the baby's going to be in sleep as well.
Yeah.
Are some kids more affected by daylight savings than others? Like a baby's more impacted by toddlers, or does it actually just depend on the child?
It does depend on the child, but I'd say in general you'll find that age does make a difference. So for newborns, they don't typically they're not really affected by daylight saving because their circadian rhythms haven't been fully matured yet. So they're more following a bit of an eat, play, sleep routine, which is a bit more flexible. Whereas older babies, toddlers, preschoolers, and like school children even, they will be more impacted. So probably school kids, you'll find they're a bit more resilient. They can cope with a bit less sleep, whereas your babies and toddlers might get a bit grumpier and a bit more overtired.
Yeah.
So I would really, definitely focus on the younger ones, but you can benefit from helping the school kids as well. So
how can you prepare in advance if it is something you're like, okay, I don't want this to impact the way we have the day set up too much?
Yeah.
How can you prepare in advance to try and mitigate that?
Yeah, so there's a really cool approach I like to use called the proactive approach. And our body clocks are regulated by food, sleep, and light. So the best thing you can do is gradually shift your baby or toddler's routine by 15 minutes, probably every 1 to 2 days in that lead up to daylight saving. So let's say your child wakes up at 7 a.m. in the morning and goes to bed at 7 p.m. So for the first 1 to 2 days, you'll want to wake them up at 6:45 in the morning, move all their naps, their milk feeds if they're having them still, their meals by 15 minutes as well, and then put them to bed at 6:45 p.m. So after that, the next 1 to 2 days, make it 6:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. So by that time, you'll get to Sunday, and actually your 7 o'clock till 7 p.m. routine will be back on track because 7 a.m. was the old 6 a.m.
So you just move it incrementally instead of going, okay, now we're going to be out by
out by
an hour.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
What if you haven't prepared in advance and you're listening to this afterwards and you're thinking, well, that would have been great if I had listened to this beforehand. How can you try and get things back on track?
Yeah, so I do actually have a lot of people that do just prefer to wing it, so that's totally fine. If you want to wing it, go for it. I think, you can actually still take a bit of a structured approach if you do forget. So if you come to Sunday and your child, is supposed to get up at 7, they're sleeping until 8, you can actually use that same approach, but it now becomes a reactive approach. So on Sunday, you would want to wake your child at 7:45 a.m, so 15 minutes earlier than the 8 a.m. time that they're waking at. And then same thing with their naps, their milk feeds and their meals. Move those as well 15 minutes earlier. And then bedtime would be 7:45 p.m. So every 1 to 2 days, you can just shift their routine again.
Some parents might be listening to this thinking, oh my gosh, it's really time management, and my kids just easy. They'll just go to bed anytime, whatever. Yeah. But it's different kids, right? Some, because with our first, it was very much okay, we have to manage this. And then the next one, it's put it down when we're ready to put it down. Yeah. And I actually think that was due to your help early on. She loves her sleep because of that. How long does it typically take for a child to fit back into this new schedule?
Yeah, it does depend on the child. So more sensitive children will probably take a little bit longer to adjust. But typically I'd say within a week. If you're following, say, the proactive approach, you'll probably find by Sunday you would actually be adjusted because you've taken that approach really gradually. But it could take maybe up to 2 weeks if your child is more sensitive, or you've just gone a bit, away with, a bit AWOL, and, you haven't really done anything to change it. Yeah. Are
there any mistakes you can make that, I don't know if the mistakes is the right word, but is there anything you can do that you might make it harder on yourself?
Definitely no mistakes. I think everyone is different and they'll have their own approach. But probably just being really consistent would be the key. So whatever you choose to do, whether it's the proactive approach, the reactive approach, just be really consistent so that you are making those changes really gradually and not jumping back and forth. A lot of my clients will tell you that I speak about consistency a lot, and I'm sure, you remember that as well.
Yeah.
So that is the key with any change you're making. So that's probably the one kind of mistake as such you could make, is just not being consistent. Then you won't see those results as easily.
It might sound funny, but, it can be quite anxiety and inducing for parents around sleep because it impacts so much when things aren't going well.
Yeah.
What are your kind of tips for staying calm when you're trying to go through these transitions?
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing is to remember that it's a temporary change. So it's not going to be forever. It does seem, I guess, overwhelming at the time if you're trying to make this big change, with daylight saving, but it is temporary. If it disrupts their sleep, it's not forever. And just, I think trusting the process, trusting your child, and just, staying really consistent with it.
Where can people go if they want to get some more information around sleep, if it's not just around daylight savings or, other kind of schedule information?
Yeah, so the best place is probably my Instagram. So that's at Early Parenting. I post some free advice on there, some content. You can also send me a DM if you'd like to get in touch and find out more information. Or if you don't have Instagram, I have an email as well. So victoria@earlyparenting.co.nz. So I'd love to help.
Wonderful. It was interesting you were saying earlier about that light and also food.
Yep.
Like how I think I never really considered all of those factors into sleep, but I've learned so much, through you about kind of sleep pressure and light and food. Do you just want to comment on how important all of those factors are?
Yeah, definitely. So I think with sleep, the main thing is to look at everything holistically. So look at the foundations of sleep. Your routine, your sleep environment, so that's light, warmth, dark. Like you said, the food they're eating, their milk feeds. So all of those things are going to have a huge impact on sleep. And that's usually what I look at first with clients, because getting those things right is basically the game changer. And then you can look at how they're self-settling, if they're self-settling, if they're not, and that's when you can make that change. So without looking at those foundations, you will really struggle to work on that kind of next step.
Victoria Newport from Early Parenting. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for tuning in today. If that topic was helpful for you and you'd like to hear more, please do like and subscribe. It sends me that feedback. School Shorts is all about supporting busy parents who want their children to thrive. follow on social at SchoolShortsNZ for fun ideas, helpful resources, and exclusive giveaways.